We are ready to start the Rytown Park Commission meeting, September 21st, 2010.
Okay.
And I've got Mayor French.
Here.
Pilla. Feinstein.
Yes.
Salanitro.
Yes.
Sack.
Here.
Okay, so, and I know that Mr. Pilla has an emergency meeting in Port Chester.
Wonderful. Mayor Feinstein, would you lead us in the pledge?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments on the minutes from the last meeting?
I want to point out there are 2 minutes there.
Yep.
And the 8:17 minutes were not a formal meeting. There was no quorum, but the meeting was held out of respect for the attending public.
Perfect.
I had some just typos.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even have to go through them. I'm just going to give them
Okay,
to
yeah.
Bishop for the
Thank you, Mayor
8:17 and...
Good. If there's no other further comments, can I get a motion to approve, I guess, both sets of minutes? So moved. Second.
Second.
Bishop, would you call the roll, please?
Okay. Mayor French.
Yes.
Mayor Feinstein.
Yes.
Salanitro.
Abstain?
Sack.
Yes, and I actually did come in and listen to the tape of the last meeting, even though I wasn't here, so I'll vote on both.
I will vouch
thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you.
And Carbon.
Very good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, grant information. Mr. Nowani, can I give us an update on that?
Okay, yes, we have Susan Auslander here from Carpe Diem. You have a letter in your packet. And what I included was I also included the, how can I call it, the alternate uses documentation that Lisa Easton provided for the historic renovation. So, it's all yours.
Thank you, Bishop.
Susan, thanks so much for coming tonight.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure. First of all, a little background. As you know, in July, we submitted a grant to New York State, the Environmental Protection Fund, on your behalf for $400,000. Because I knew I was coming here, I called the Taconic Region office to just say hi and check on what things we're up to. And Ron Rader, who heads the office, tells me that he thinks the governor, the current governor, will want to announce around the holidays before he, says sayonara and, so you may hopefully be hearing some good news before too long. And then I was very pleased on behalf of another client to have just secured $350,000 from the federal government. This was up in Kingston. And that is what I propose to do for you, if you so agree. The letter of agreement is in your packet. I do have a little press thing. There are some facts there. This just shows the congressman announcing that he's brought home the bacon to his constituents. We would propose to go for a $400,000 federal grant to match the state grant. Both federal and state grants are permitted to match each other. And, then where you get the rest of it is up to your discretion. But if you want, we can, consider other funding options. But right now, what we're thinking about is going for a federal grant from your congressperson. We go to the state, the senators, but they have so many things on their plates that the Congress is probably a better place for us to try our luck.
Wonderful. Questions?
So, any questions about what we do? Or?
As a generic question, Susan,
Sure.
This is very unscientific, but I've started to get the sense that a lot of these grants are either not being granted in the first place, or after they're granted, the money isn't coming. And you mentioned Patterson doing a sayonara. My fear there, especially within that context, would be money that's awarded when the next governor is in office just won't be there anymore. So what as an experienced grant writer, do you see this come in ebbs and flows, and what can you say about that?
Well, it sounds like let's all slit our wrists and forget about it. But, for instance, today I live in the town of Lewisboro, which is way up in the boonies, but it's still Westchester. And we have a member item because the building department is going to the state archives for a grant for digitalizing the records. And I was talking to the assemblyman's office today and said, what's the story? Did the governor veto this with everything else as he was going through the old, line items? And he said, no, they always have, there's another pot of money. There's always another pot hidden somewhere, So, I was, pretty pleased about it. It's only $35K we're talking about to go with a $75,000 grant we hope to get from the state for the actual digitalizing, but you need sophisticated computers and a machine that will digitalize records. So that's where the $35,000 comes in. So, you could always say, well, it's hardly worth the candle, but, wouldn't you ready to scream if you found out that, the town next door didn't feel that way and they were awarded $400,000 just for sake of argument. So nothing ventured, nothing gained, I guess is what I would say.
What is the typical cost to writing a grant versus the potential amount received ratio that most communities strive for?
Well, I don't know I can't speak for most communities. I think it's fairly reasonable, the figure of $7,000 that I quoted to you, unless, of course, you want to go the conservative route and wait till you're awarded the grant, and then I would get 5%, which, if it's $400,000, as you know very well, would be $20,000. So $7,000 is a bargain,
Susan,
relatively.
Susan, do you think it's worthwhile to attack this both ends against the middle by applying for a grant and also maybe asking our congresswomen to petition our congresswomen or other officials for member items as well to get some grant money in that fashion? Would you be able to do
for an earmark? Yeah, sure. We'll work through the congresswoman's office, and she happens, as you may very well know, to be on the Appropriations Committee, which is a nice place to sit when you're talking money.
Yeah, because I'm looking at, you're right, the estimate for the next phase, approximately $3.2 million. $400 would be great if we can get that. It would also be nice if we can get a couple of more $400,000 grants as well.
Yeah.
So do you think that you would be able to make the petition to the Congresswoman, or do you think that this board should try to petition as well?
Well,
what's easier?
I think it would be better to go directly at this point and start. I did have a conversation with them over there, and they said, contact us toward November, right after the election, where everybody is back in business, so to speak, and, probably to apply in December. And then if we could get an earmark from, NETA did give you an earmark of $100,000 under Save America's Treasures, which was, not the competitive route that you went. That was an earmark. But that's only a one shot in the Save America's Treasures. You can't get more than one of those. This would be economic development, and we always talk jobs when we're writing grants now. Putting on the new roof of this church will produce 25 jobs. I know the architect up from Albany said, what are you talking jobs for? I said, what are you, crazy? The more the merrier. Yeah.
Please.
One of the lines in the document here, just for the commission here, is each grant dollar has to be matched dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
And in the city of Rye, we do not have any borrowing capacity. So anything project that we do, we'd have to go to the public for a full referendum vote.
Well, that's why we have 400 requests into the state, and now we propose to go to ask for 400. No guarantee you're going to get all 400, but to the federal government. And then, if we can get an earmark of 100,000 or so on top of it, the more the merrier.
Right, but it doesn't say $3.2 million?
Mm-hmm.
in here?
Yeah, well,
That's the total,
that's
yeah. Right.
Lisa's budget. I
So
mean, that's
so
sort
at
of
some
not
point in
my
time, we're going to
area.
have to go to the taxpaying public to start to let them know these capital projects and get it on their radar as well, because it will have to go out to them.
Well, I think there's two issues that are that should be coordinated with this project. And one is our RFP in terms of what we want to do with the facility, and the other is our capital budget plan. And I think our capital budget plan we're expecting in October. Where'd you get to it, Lisa? She told me tonight.
Well, Lisa couldn't make it today, but
Okay.
she indicated to me that we would have certainly a capital budget plan or an outline for the next
October.
meeting.
Okay, so we'll have that for the next meeting, and then we should definitely, I think, I can't remember who was the committee members we talked about for the RFP, but we should definitely, think about how we want to RFP or solicit interest in, private-public partnership for the facility, because there may be a way to get it financed without actually having to resort to the public sector. I know the county is looking to do something as well, and I think, Mayor French, you're on that committee, and I've been asked to sit on that committee as well, so we should clearly coordinate
Right. Okay.
the effort here with the effort there as well, I think. So,
Mayor Feinstein, I saw your head pick up when I said borrowing. It's just that our council can't approve anything now. We're at our limit
No, I
as a
heard,
council.
yeah, I
okay.
looked at you and I
Yeah,
went,
okay.
wow.
Yeah.
just for,
Yeah.
what's your debt level?
It's on a percentage basis, so the council cannot approve more than like $3.5 million, and we're already up to that amount. So anything above that would
Part of
have to go to
your
the
state
public. Yeah, part of our charter.
It's interesting. Is that a percentage of your budget?
Yeah, they do a 5% of this, and we're at the limit. So
Wow, interesting. Yeah, good.
just FYI, that's why I'm letting you know now.
Yeah,
So,
sure. Well, so then, any thoughts on how we want to proceed? I think it's a very fair proposal. I think the question really on the table is, do we want to do on a success fee basis or a straight fee basis? Susan's done wonderful work for us in the past, and we'd love to get her moving on this. So I don't know if the commission has any thoughts on the specific
I
proposal.
would assume that the course, correct me if I'm wrong, would be a soft course added to the overall project that we've established as a capital project. So it wouldn't come out of, I don't know.
Well, if the project goes forward, I think you probably would be able to do that. If the project doesn't go forward,
It would
obviously.
have to come out of our operating budget then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I think it's a fair proposal, and I would be in favor of it.
Terrific.
Same.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I agree. I also think that possibly, if we want to, it doesn't make any difference. We probably should do a resolution in support of an application to Congresswoman Lowy, just so that
Yep.
we have a resolution, so that we may determine if that we want you to go forward with that as well.
A good suggestion.
Susan, I think are you going to need an official resolution of this board to attach to your application to show,
Usually, yes.
We should probably
Yeah.
vote on that as well.
do we have a
So-
model resolution that you want us to follow?
I can get you one, but I don't have one this minute.
if
They're
I
sort of boilerplate.
If I recall, I think we had to have the commission vote on the last grant application as part of finishing up that package. So we will have a resolution for you for next meeting.
Okay.
Well, I think we can vote then to get Susan started.
I'll make a motion.
I get a second?
I'll second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Okay. Sorry. We've got Mayor French,
Yes.
Mayor Feinstein.
Yes.
Commissioner Salanitro.
Yes.
Commissioner Sack.
Yes.
President Carvin.
Yes. President Carter.
Hey, that's what it says.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and interest.
Thank you.
have
Thank you.
something
Thanks so
to
much.
sign, Susan? Do you have something for him to sign?
I do. Thank you.
Yeah, Dylan.
Let's accomplish that right this
Wonderful.
minute.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you. I wanted, in terms of the next agenda item, if the commission didn't mind, I'd like to actually invert the order and have the parking task force come up first, and then have the park operation, if that's okay with the park first task force. I think they've indicated they want about 10 minutes, so I think that should be about right.
All right, underneath your packets is the documentation. Yes, looks like that.
There, just give that to Susan.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hi, Christina Beecher, 418 Forest Avenue. Thank you. Supervisor Carvin for inviting us to speak tonight. The citizens component of the task force met at the end of the summer to review what we had seen over the course of the summer.